Okay, good morning, everyone. Let's get right into the stock market technical analysis. We're going to look at the general markets. We're going to look at some trade ideas, and then we'll go ahead and wrap up. Guys, if you've been with me for a while, drop me a thumbs up. I hope you guys are getting value out of these trade ideas. And if you're new, check out the course, my stock market technical analysis course. A lot of good content and information in there. It's about 4 hours or so of video training going through multiple concepts of trend analysis, risk reward analysis, divergence analysis, candlestick analysis, all the stuff that I use that I kind of pull together in my strategy. So I put that in my course. Check that out. It's affordably priced. All right, so triple Qs. I put out a comment this morning on yesterday's video saying I was going to cover my Qs, and the reason being, the thing is, it's just a temporary thing. I think we're probably going to go lower in Qs, but we're right back down here now at the support area. It's about 298. Again, we've been targeting this area for a long time, and it's really good support. You can see from back here on the daily chart, it was resistance multiple times back in 2020, and then once we broke above, it was support twice, once, two. So we have at least 5 reactions, and so I'm expecting that we're going to get a reaction and a bounce here. So maybe a little bit of choppiness right through here as they try to push it down, make it look like it's going to go lower. But I think it's probably going to hold. But there's one chart I really want to point out that is going to be key for me to determine if that's actually going to hold, at least for just a mild bounce. But before we move off that, there is the other thing I'm looking at on the triple Qs. We still have these bullish divergences. See them right here? So here's the RSI. All right, you can see still have a bullish divergence, not fully confirmed yet. And then here's the PPO. This one's starting to get burned through. All right, so you can see that basically we're burning through it today. So that is bearish in general. If we continue to burn through those, look for the RSI to burn through. If you burn through the divergences, it basically just tells me that this bullish setup that was here, because again, you had the bullish divergence. You had it right here back in March. You got a rally. We had it again, kind of an extension of that same divergence just recently. And if we burn through it, it's just extremely bearish. And it tells me that we have entered a bear market. Now, again, I've been anticipating that we are going to enter a bear market. I've been seeing a lot of things in the charts, breakdowns of the FANG stocks and whatnot. So I've been talking about the fact that I believe we're entering a bear market. But if you're looking for just more confirmation, then burning through the divergences like that would be an additional confirmation there. So looking for that. If we get that, that's going to probably change my mind. Now, the other thing I'm looking at is Apple. All right. Apple, when I put out the comment this morning, Apple was recovering or trying to hold this trend line right here. So far today, they're selling it. So let's see where the day closes. Okay, I'd like to see one more day of a sell down in Apple. If Apple can sell down and break, and get a sell signal, then that tells me that Qs is going to go lower because Apple's actually just breaking trend. So on daily chart here, you've got support right here, all through here on Apple. And yesterday we did get a sell signal. All right, today they gapped it up right to the trend line. And back tested it, but it does look like it's rejecting so far. All right, the day's still young, so they might step in and buy it and recover it. And the point being is if you see that recovery in Apple, the Qs isn't probably going to go much lower, at least in the near term. So we could get a recovery where Apple recovers and then maybe we get a bounce up to the 200 or even a bounce all the way up to this resistance trend line. That's possible. Another thing to watch is there is this downtrend line right here on Apple. Extend that out. That might be the bounce target. Somewhere right in there is probably the most likely bounce target if you get it. So again, if Apple can recover this area, it's about 155.50 today. If they can recover that and really hold, then you're probably going to get a bounce up to this downtrend line and the 200-day moving average. And the Qs is going to get a bounce as well. So things to look at there. If we don't and Apple continues to sell off and we get another red day, then very likely Apple has triggered that sell signal. We have confirmation. Usually what you want to see on a sell signal is more selling the next day. All right, that helps with the confirmation. But you don't need it. You just need prices to not be able to recover the resistance, the former support. So far today, we're getting rejected at the former support. So we'll see if that continues. Okay, so when I covered my short trade on triple Qs, I just piled that into IWM. So IWM has not hit that support level that I've been looking for. Right here, I moved it. It's about 170.50-ish. All right, we're getting pretty close now. But what I did is, I figured since we hadn't hit that, we're going to chop around in Qs, and this is going to run down and hit that support level. So that's where I thought that there was still some more downside, at least in the short term. So far, that's proven right. So once we get down there, 170-ish, again, you want to step in a little early, but once they get down there, that's probably going to hold this support. And I am thinking we're going to get somewhat of a bounce. Now, again, the other thing to look for is the divergences. Here's the PPO. Starting to get burned through, not quite, still there, but we're close. And then the RSI here still have that bullish divergence. So if you burn through the divergences, it just tells me there's going to be a lot more selling before we get some sort of a bounce. So there is the potential that there is the potential to crash, basically, where we basically crash right through this support, have a really impulsive move down, and burn through the divergences. Okay, if we get that, we'll likely look for a bottom when we start building 60-minute bullish divergences somewhere down a lot lower. All right, but until then, we're just targeting this 170.50 area, and we'll just see how the market looks if or when we get down there. Okay, I'm gonna run through a bunch of short trade ideas here. We'll just look at Tesla. So again, Tesla's got this minor support. Well, it's major support. It's about 779, 780. We bounced off of it a little bit yesterday, but today you can see we're starting to crack it today. So I think if we continue to break, we get some sort of impulsive sell down, should be just pretty much lights out till we get down to about 550. All right, there'll be maybe a minor bounce, probably get a minor bounce right here at 700. They'll probably do something right there. Sorry, let me grab the right tool. And maybe right there, but again, it would just be a minor bounce on its way down to 550. So I'll probably just hold tough and ride that thing down. All right, so I like the price action so far today, and we'll see if that continues lower. GME, again, they gapped it up this morning, but boom, impulsive selling down 10%. This is starting to get impulsive, exactly like I said it was going to. I added some to my short trade this morning. Again, basically there's just nothing holding this up, and the strength that was in the market has pretty much been sapped out. So a lot of the people that probably own this are getting margin calls because they own the other stuff too. They own Space, Virgin Galactic, they own Tesla, they own Apple, they own some of these other speculative stocks, and they're starting to get margin calls if they have margin, which means they're being forced to sell this. They might have the diamond hands, but if you're forced to sell your position, it doesn't matter what your constitution is in terms of holding this stock. You'll sell it anyways because you're forced to. So that's likely what's going on, and we're down 9% again today, just straight down basically. And I expect this to continue. Okay, just as this went straight up, I expect it to pretty much fall straight down. My target still remains about $39, $40 range before we get any kind of bounce. So I expect we probably just go straight down to that area. It won't take long, I assume. Okay, this is another one very similar to GME car, Avis rent-a-car budget group, and it's just a car rental company. But at the end of the day, really strong impulsive rally. It had a really big rip. This was the momentum mania that was going on. They jumped this thing huge. But here's the point: we have a trend line to watch, and we got the sell signal yesterday right there. All right, so that is a valid sell signal. We had negative divergence right here. I pointed that out. We got a sell signal. This should trade down to the 200-day moving average before getting any kind of a bounce. Okay, so today they gapped it up, but the sellers stepped right back in. They're selling it down. I don't see anything holding this up unless they can rally this today and the market finds some strength and they rally it back into this support zone. Then it should just trade straight down to the 200, and then you'll probably get a minor bounce, a 1 or 2 day bounce, maybe even a back test down at the 200. I think it's going a lot lower than the 200, but again, you're likely going to have some buyers step in at the 200. All right, but no strength until then. And from where we're at now, that's still a move of about 15%. So we're looking for this to continue lower. And again, my final target on this is probably all the way down here at 50.85. All right, that's your pre-COVID highs right here. Decent resistance for quite many years. Once we broke out, all right, we're in an uptrend. We break the trend, we should head back down to that key level of support. Over time, it's going to take a little while, but that's what I got on that one. Okay, Seas. This is a SeaWorld. All right, we got a big sell signal a couple days ago. All right, we got it on the May 5th. Broke the 200 the following day. Pretty impulsive selling the next day. More selling today. The first level of support I had was 57.75. And today, look at the hourly. You can see that we basically rallied right into that resistance. And so far, we've been rejected. So, yeah, what was former support is now resistance. So that should hold. I would say, we shouldn't really break above that. If we do, it's likely going to run up at least to the 200-day. Okay, so if you get back above there, probably up to the 200, that would be an objective area to short. All right, if they get it up there again, then that's where I'd be looking to reshort the thing. Otherwise, should head lower. And I don't see any real support on this until we get down to about right here. All right, this is my next kind of key level. It's right in here about 46.50. All right, 46.50, 47, somewhere right in there is the next level of support. And from where we're at right now, that's a continuation drop of about another 15-16% downside. Okay, so I like that one for more downside. PANW. All right, so we got the sell signal on this back on May 5th. Talked about it, pointed it out on this channel. So again, follow along if you hit the notification bell if you want the alerts that I put out, or if you just want to be alerted when I get a video out, because oftentimes there's time sensitive material and there's opportunity there in those videos. So I try to get it out as quickly as I can when I see opportunity. But again, that's why I also just have a course so that I can teach you how to find these trades for yourself and learn this skill set for yourself. That's really the most important. I'm never going to be able to just give you the perfect entry and all the best trades, but if you have the skill set for yourself, you'll be able to find your own trades and find your own entries. Okay, there it is. Now just plunging basically. We have some support here at 476.08. Overshot it yesterday. It looks like they're breaking again today. So I think probably lower. And a little bit of support here at 455.91. So on this one, I need to see that go 455.91 for the next sell signal. And I think we'll get it. We should head right down to gap entry 420.30. And then you've got this gap fill down here at 375.18. For me, that's the target that I have right now, is that gap fill point, 375. I wouldn't wait for that exact penny. It'll probably stop short. So you probably come down. The buyers will step in before you get to the gap. Okay. So I'd probably look to cover as we just get close to that gap. All right. So that's what I've got on that one. I think more downside till we get down there. Okay, XLE, this is oil. I think oil's a short now. I think we're going to start to see that corrective price action in oil. And we're seeing that kind of in the ag commodities and stuff too. But oil, all right, so the main thing on XLE, uptrend line right here on the daily, we broke trend, back test, and rejected. So we should head down lower. We've got some support here. We got to break the support, but we should head down to the support area of about 70.50. And then once that goes, I think it'll be a move down to 62.50-ish and the 200-day moving average down there. So that's kind of how I see that playing out. Probably hit this, probably get a little bounce, and then break and do that. All right. So I think there's more downside there. Again, negative divergence telling me that, that we were going to break trend, and then we did break trend right here back on April 21st. Okay, here's a potential short trade idea, CLX. This is Clorox. Now, it's not going to be a huge mover because it's kind of a safety defensive play. But here's the thing. On the weekly chart, going back to 2011, so this is the entire bull market in Clorox, all right, for the last decade or so. Big old nice trend line here. at the highs, at the weekly highs, we started to build weekly divergence really right here. This is where it started on the RSI. Didn't really have it there on the PPO, but did have it on the RSI. We got a big weekly breakdown sell signal right here. See that weekly break of trend? Big impulsive selling down week. And then you can see over the last couple months, we're rallying back up to the 200. All right, so we're hitting the 200 basically probably today. We hit it yesterday, it looks like, not quite today. So yesterday was the perfect entry, but basically you want to short when things have entered a bear market, which this is clearly broken trend, and you want to short at tags of the 200. So that's in a pretty objective area. I'll probably short this position here, take a short trade. And looking just for lower prices, you know, probably a much lower leg, probably all the way down here to 112.14. Good support there on the weekly chart. So that's where I think we go. I like it. Okay, gold. So this is gold bullion, and we'll look at the gold futures too. So on gold, the bull market started in gold back in 2018, and I've got the trend line marked out here on the weekly chart. You can see basically we are right at support. We are at trend line support and the 200-day moving average. Okay, so very good support right in here on gold. Let's go to the daily. You can see it right there. So this is the area where the buyers should step in. We are at major support. The thing I like about a bounce here on gold is the fact that we basically had a really impulsive rally, and this is a big corrective pattern on gold, basically bringing us right down to support. First tag of support in over, in basically over a year, it looks like. And, you know, just really seems like, no, I apologize, not in over a year, but the first tag of support since the beginning of February. And we basically are coming right down to it. I think we hold here, so it makes sense to go long. The miners, though, I think they're not quite, they got a little bit more to go. So here's GDX. You can see it's selling off today, continuing the downtrend. On GDX, you know, I don't really have support till we hit about right here at 31.40. There's also this bear flag that seems to be playing out pretty perfectly. Probably mark the flag out something like that and go like that. So that still has GDX coming down a little bit more. GDXJ selling off today. So, you know, as far as I can tell on GDXJ, it looks like it was a false breakout. You had this breakout here. We then have come down. It's a false breakout, and the selling's pretty impulsive. So that might mean that we're actually heading all the way down to the bottom of the trend line. So the miners, I'm not that, you know, I was starting to build a position, but I got out of some of those positions in the last couple days because they're just not quite playing out. Some of them look okay, some look, you know, don't look great. So I'll kind of go into detail on the miners a little bit more. But if gold holds here, then we should see, you know, we should see the miners rally as well. And a lot of these miners have earnings. Like here's PAS earnings are coming up. I don't know which way it's going to go. Possibly bad earnings all the way down here to 1986, which would be a buying opportunity down there. So a little mixed on gold and the gold miners right now. Okay, that's all I got for right now. I'm going to get this video out. Guys, drop me a thumbs up. Leave a comment below and let me know what you guys think.